Hello there, folks. Welcome back. You're watching the BSG Lustrum event, celebrating 5 years of BSG marathons. We've now got our next one coming up, which is going to be Ōkami, featuring Kinnin11. Thank you very much indeed. Take it away, Kinnin.
Thank you, Tim. So yeah, hi, I'm Kinnin. You might have seen me run this game like boatloads at BSG events. So I'm really happy that I got invited to do it again. I've actually been kind of like gone out of semi-retirement from this category. I've been wanting to improve it for a while, and when they asked me to do it again, I got back into it, and I actually got a new world record de-rusting this game for the marathon. So I'm quite pleased with that. So you can I can thank BSG for giving me a new world record. So yeah, I'll just start off with the file. I'm gonna start timing on file select. Usually we do it later to let the RTA more be in line with the in-game time, but I'll just do it easily so that tech can actually have a nice moment of time start. So yeah. Let's go, I guess. I'll count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Loading takes long because this is still on a hard drive. There we go. So usually we start timing right as the gong plays, so it will be about... Come on, there it is. But yeah, this is Ōkami. We play as a wolf. I can skip all the cutscenes, which is nice. And there's some really cool strats in this game. I think I'll be like not really talking much about the game itself and more about my BSG experiences, I guess. But I'll try. So for instance, here you can see me jump in and out of cutscenes. That is to keep my speed and go fast. It's kind of an important part of speedrunning this game. And it's been going through a couple of iterations, and I think I've showed off at least 2 or 3 iterations during BSGs, which is kind of cool. There we go. And the main gimmick of this game is that there's a brush, and that allows me to do things in the world. For instance, finish a constellation. And whenever I finish a constellation, I get a new brush power, and I can do more stuff in the world. So for instance, this brush power allows me to restore things. Or rejuvenate things is the right word. So, like this. There we go. So yeah, BSG, damn, 5 years. It's kind of ridiculous. I've actually been there from the very start that we became BSG. I heard about a Dutch organization doing marathons. And I was like, oh cool, I want to join that. So I followed it, and I followed it like after the final NLG mini that they did. Like that was their old names. And it was like half a year or something after that the first BSG happened. And I was there, so it was cool. And I've only like missed a couple of BSGs since. Especially in the last few years, I haven't really been to BSGs anymore. It's a bit sad, but yeah. It's kind of cool. Here we go, get a new brush power. Yep. And this one is power slash, allows me to slash things. It's kind of useful. Right here we're going to go through one of the first skips in the game. And there we have it. That's one of the first skips in the game. Woo! So there was a fight trigger there, and what's quite often the case with fight triggers in this game is that they're not too big, so if you can easily just kind of walk around them. There's another one right here, and we skipped it. I'll be doing that more often during this run, so yeah. It's actually like... Thinking back on like my first ever run at BSG, that was like my 3rd marathon run ever. and I had all these people, like 10 people behind me that I have never ever seen in my life, except for Rikold. He was like the one person I kinda knew a little bit, and I was so nervous. It was ridiculous. I actually remember Jasper at one point sitting behind me, and I got low on health, and he asked me like, "Are you supposed to be low on health?" No, I'm not supposed to be low on health. This run is just going that badly. It was kind of funny. So yeah, coming up next, we have our main glitch of this category, our like New Game Plus on PS3 in general. It's called the Karmic Transformer glitch. I'll be referring to it mostly as an infinite jump glitch. Basically, I'm gonna switch skins of Amy, and by doing a frame perfect input, I get an infinite jump. It's really nice. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Jasper. Like, I know why you asked it, because it's just like, oh, you might be doing strats and stuff like that. But I was like so nervous about it. I felt so bad. I've honestly gotten a lot better over the years doing BSG runs, and yeah, annual 18, I think, yeah, that's also a good flashback. So I was running this game, different category, and Captain wanted to plug his mobile charger into like a power brick, and that power brick had my PS3 on it, but because the cable that I had for my PS3 was kind of short, it was kind of hanging off like off the ground. So he pushed it in, and by pushing it in, he pulled out the power cable off my PS3. And it went off in the middle of a run. I was just like sitting there, just like, oh my god. I luckily have like a ton of practice saves, so I could like play from a save, but it was silly. So yeah, right there I equipped a couple of late game items to basically make all the fights kind of trivial and make this game more about execution rather than just playing it. But yeah, I've got a ton of really fun memories from BSG, and I'm really happy to have been a part of it. I'm also really happy that well, I got invited to this event, because I haven't really been active in the community for a while now. So I've gotten that most dangerous things when it comes to speedrunning, a full-time job. But it's been fun getting back into it and getting a good balance now. There we go. Yeah, the space, yeah. So, our old building, the old marathon building that we went at, the space, was in the same city where I lived. So quite often we would be chilling out at my in my room. Like, that was kind of fun. Or at Jasper's, that's also a thing that happened. The space was amazing, honestly. I still kind of miss it, honestly, but it's just BSG, and that's a really good thing. BSG has gotten way too big for it, which is a good thing, but it's sad. It's a little sad in some ways. Bolt, 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 bolt. Oh my god. So that ball is really annoying. It has way too precise of a collision, so it can really mess you up right there. And by drawing a little circle there, we get ourselves a new brush power called Bloom, which allows us to bloom trees and make them pretty and restore places. It's kind of cool. There we go. So right here I'm gonna jump around kind of weirdly again. This is once again to skip a fight, and we got it. It's kind of nice. It's a lot of little fight skips like that in this run. And right here we have another fight skip. So the campfire fight is back, and we just walk around it, and we don't have to engage with it. It's a little silly. It's the good part. For me, like, the best part about this space was that at one point we realized that we couldn't just like keep ordering food all the time, because a lot of people just didn't have the money for that. So we would do communal cooking, which was probably one of kind of the things that I really was into when it came to BSG. It's that we basically had like a couple people sitting like in the very small kitchen just cooking up dinner for about 20 people. So we could all like eat kind of cheaply and like have at least some amount of healthy food over the weekend. It was the best. I really loved doing that. So right here, instead of like actually playing the game, I'm just gonna go straight ahead to the next area. Yeah. So right here I'm going to be doing a technique called the brush adventure. Basically by moving the camera and the camera angle at the same time, I can move the brush out of bounds, and by doing that I can basically bloom this tree out of bounds. I'll be using it a couple more times in this run. It's a really cool little trick that gets used in different categories a lot more, to the point where there's like a crazy glitch in New Game that uses it to great effect. There we go. Right there, I jumped over there to skip a cutscene. Or a cutscene and a fight at the same time. It's kind of slow to do that one, so yeah. And over here I will be going to the top. And I'm going to be turning this thing on, so the little circles up there. That's a Mermaid Spring. They are fast travel points that I will be using later on in the run. It's very useful to have. So now that we've done basically nothing in that area, we're gonna just skip ahead as well and go straight into the next area, which is kind of cool. So in Takapas, I placed the order right. Oh god, that was terrible. Oh my lord. Yeah, I basically I had to walk around 5 times to make sure that I got everyone's order, and I think I still forgot 1 or 2 things for 1 or 2 people. It was the worst, but ordering for 50 people and just like going off of a list of stuff that needed to be ordered. Yeah, we placed 2 calls. Basically, we called them first like, hey, we're gonna be doing a huge order. And they were like, yeah, sure, call again. Don't use an app for it. Call again. Make sure, because it's cheaper for you. And we'll be ready for you. It's like, it was a quiet day for them before we came. And they were actually like, they were really happy with that order. They were so happy with it. Like, the dude on the phone was just like really nice and really happy about it all, and like, yeah. That's the nice thing about it. And the food was pretty dang good. Yeah, good memories. So yeah, over there's the tree. I had to go all around and fight the fight over there, because I can't actually bloom the tree just straight off the bat. I have to do that for some reason. And then I can bloom this tree to restore the area. So yeah, now we're actually going to be somewhat engaging with this area. I'm going to set up another Mermaid Spring for fast travel. And after that, we're actually going to another side area to get ourselves a new brush power. Yeah, the family picture, that was amazing. Annual 17 and 18 were great. Well, 17 was great. So right here, we set up another Mermaid Spring, and we're going to be using that a couple of times in this run. It's very important to set those up. If you don't, you lose like several minutes of time, which is kind of bad. Yeah, I had to correct myself there, Zeta. I was just like, wait, no, 18 wasn't that great. 17 was definitely really good. 19 was also amazing, for sure. So yeah, this is Sasa Sanctuary. We can't actually go into the building right now. You need to do side quests to do that. But luckily we have a very cool little thing here that we can use to just go out of bounds. So we're gonna go out of bounds here, and there's a really cool feature of this game. It saves a lot of loading times, but it's also useful for speedrunning. So whenever you're on an area map, you've got like an exterior and an interior. The interior of maps is always below the exterior. So by going out of bounds and letting myself drop, I can basically skip going over the gate and just fall into the area I want to be in. It's kind of neat. I'm going to be using it at least one more time in this run, which is kind of nice. So right here we've got a digging minigame. There are multiple ones in the game. Because we're a dog, we like digging, so yeah. But yeah, honestly, like, I think BSG has been very lucky with the people that have worked for it. Like, a lot of people with a lot of passion doing something they all love doing. And I really don't think, like, BSG would be what it was today, what it is today, without any of them, really. It's awesome. I might have gotten annoyed at people at some point, but hey, it wouldn't be the same without y'all. Let me put it like that. So So right here we got a new brush power called Water Spout. Lets me control water. And since the gate is still not opened, I'm gonna have to KT out. So I'm gonna be focused a little bit on these. There we go. That was nice. So yeah, now we're done interacting with this area, and we're gonna go straight into the next area of the game. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna drink some water. Stay hydrated. I have to click on that. That's some good memories right there. Yeah, that was cool. So right here, I'm gonna be doing another cool little skip. I'm gonna get to the other side without lowering the bridge. You're supposed to like lower it and everything, and then huge explosions happen on the other side, but we're just skipping through that because right here we have a little corner that allows us to jump out. And I almost drowned. Fun. And then we can jump on some geometry, and using our infinite jump glitch, we can get up here. Ooh. Ah! My camera angle's a bit bad. Okay, let's do that again, and this time actually do it. There we go. World record holder, everyone. Let me get everything back to where it's supposed to be. There we go. Kirby plush? Yeah, I've got like a ton of Kirby plushes behind me. I used to run a lot of Kirby. Like, half of what I've ran at BSG is a Kirby game, and half of it is Ōkami, basically. It's like 50-50 just about. Those are like the two main game series that I've been running. So right here we're doing another brush adventure. There we go. And the cool thing about this brush adventure is that I'm activating two cutscenes at the same time, allowing me to use stuff. There we go. But yeah, for a long time as well, like through BSG, I think it was through BSG, I got into contact with Sniperwave, talking about Kirby. And we were like, you know what we should do? We should like do a co-op run together. And I've never really talked to him at all before that. Like, I barely knew him. And we just went ahead and did like a co-op run together. That was really fun. Ah, damn. We probably would have done something like that for this marathon if COVID didn't happen, but we didn't get to decide that anyway. So right there, I did another interior clip to get into this area. And now we're gonna learn the most important thing in this run. Double jump! So you've been seeing me do a bunch of infinite jumps. By getting this ability, or technique as it's called, we can basically have like half of the amount of infinite jumps, and that's really nice. It's like the first third of this run is get double jump. And now we're gonna set up a few more things and get the brush powers we need to finish this game. Oh. So right here I'm going to walk around another fight. There we go, we skipped the fight. Going to do a little jump here to smooth it out. And instead of going into the big city to our right, we're just going to go straight onto the next area. And into a fight. I find it kind of difficult to know how much I should be talking about the game and how much I should be talking about BSG. Because like most of the people that are in chat right now have seen me run this game so often, they kind of know what I'm doing at this point. So right here we're going to be buying Mermaid Coins, which allows us to use the fast travel points I've been talking about earlier. We couldn't get them any earlier than this because we skipped the thing that would give them to us. So yeah. So right here we're going to draw another little circle into the air, and we set up Orca. Orca is going to be our travel across the water for a while, but right now we just leave it. Yeah, there are a ton of resources when it comes to this game, and I've done a ton of marathons as well, so you can just pick out like any marathon run I've done for BSG, and I'll explain a lot of the game. I've always because I've done so many marathons for BSG, I really got to develop my commentary style. It's a very, I kind of feel that I learned a lot when it comes to public speaking from BSG. Because I had to do it so often, you just kind of learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And it's very important, and I notice it now, now that I have a full-time job, that I learned a lot from BSG when it comes to public speaking, and I'm way better at it than what I used to be. And that's I'm kind of grateful for that, honestly. Okay, so right here coming up is a very difficult glitch. It's called Origin Warp. It's relatively new. Basically what we do is we are going to try and mash for a specific frame to jump without setting our respawn point. So it will point to 0, 0, 0, and in this case, and then try to void out and void back into that specific spot. During previous marathons, during one marathon in particular, it went so wrong. I went over 10 to 20 minutes overestimate because of it. So I hope I do better this time and I don't enrage Zeta as I did back then. So yeah, let's hope we do better. Okay, that's first try on the frame. That's very nice. Let's see how well the tunnel goes. So right now, I need to make sure that I don't touch the ground. Because the moment I touch the ground, it'll set my respawn point, and I don't want that. Nice! Redemption! First try! There we go, my BSG redemption. Let's go! At least I hope I got the frame, I might have listened to it incorrectly. No, I got the frame. There we go. Whew. So yeah, I made it somewhat look easy, but yeah, like I said, you can lose like 10 to 20 minutes to that if you're trying to get it. I spent a lot of time practicing it before doing this run. And like I said during a previous marathon, I absolutely ruined the schedule by going way overestimate. I'm not even sure if we ended up mercy killing my run there. So yeah, right now I need to get on top of a certain platform. And my KTs suddenly are switching off, which is nice. There we go. So this like trick is somewhat new. It's been around for like a year now, so yeah. And it's a really cool trick. It saves like over 4 to 6 minutes over the old strat. Also, this is a frame perfect trick, so the infinite jump glitches, so they can be a little bit rough. So right here I'm gonna blow back the wind, so to speak, and restore the good wind in the area. And we get a new brush power that allows me to blow some wind around if I want to. There we go. So this is like the main run killer nowadays, and it can get really frustrating. So I'm happy it went well here for the marathon. Because I do always try to put up a good run for BSGs. Hasn't always happened, but hey. It's the thought that counts, doesn't it? So right there, by going out of bounds for a bit, I just drop all the way to the start of the dungeon again. Saves a lot of time from trying to go back through the elevator. Which is actually impossible because I never opened a certain door, so I have to do that. But it's useful that you can. And then we got some movement, which is kind of nice. It's a nice moment to just kind of relax, drink some more water. Almost lose time drinking some water. Wow. So a cool thing about this area right now, by the way, it's kind of in a double state. It's both cursed and not cursed. And because of that, I can jump right here. And because it is somewhat cursed, it'll respawn me back at the start of the area. Which saves like a couple of seconds of time, which is kind of nice. Stay hydrated, but don't... And yeah, at some point... during the start of BSG going to EGA, so that was our second venue, I did a run of New Game Any Percent of this category of this game, together with Critical Sid, and we basically did a pass the controller. So I would run the first half of the run, and he would do the second half of the run. So after like the first half, I just instantly like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. It's just funny. It happens way too often to me that I need to go to the bathroom in the middle of a run, especially marathon runs. So right here we're gonna go into another dungeon. Rather than opening the gate, we're just gonna jump right here and just fall into the loading zone behind the gate. Which is a nice little time saver. And inside the dungeon we're gonna be doing a couple of things that basically skips more than half of the dungeon. Because we like speed. Oh, come on. Still gonna try it. Yo, Kinnin clip, let's go. Yes, I got a trick named after myself in this game. I'm very proud of it. So in this section we got these demon gates that trigger fights, and we're just gonna have to fight all three of them to be able to continue. So another fun fact about doing KTs in this game, so they are frame perfect, which means that if you're not used to your screen's input delay, you can really get tripped up by it. So back in the day at BSG, whenever we would do HD runs like this one, we only had one screen for it with a specific like 1 millisecond input delay and whatever, and there was only one, so I could never practice KTs before doing runs. So I would always have to get used to the input delay of that screen during the run, which was absolutely terrible. Oh my god. You could always see me just struggle for the first half of the run with just like terrible KTs, and like later on they would slowly start getting better and better and better. And at some point I should have just said, to hell with it, I'm bringing my own screen to BSGs, but I never did because it was just too much trouble. Like the monitor was really good. Like don't get me wrong, it's a good monitor. It's just the input delay was just different from the one I used, so I just couldn't deal with it. And having to get used to it in the middle of a marathon run. Yeah, I mean that's like one of the the speedrunner's curse is you get so used to your own monitor because you're doing very, very important, like very fast tricks, often frame-based. And if the input delay on something is way better than what you're used to, it just, oh my lord. So yeah, we just got ourselves a new brush power, by the way. It's called Vine. It's kind of we need it to finish the game, and we could just piece out of that dungeon as well. It's kind of a nice thing about this run. You just kind of go into a dungeon, get a brush power, and you just leave. And for this section, I need to make it night, so I'm going to use a certain like kind of story trigger kind of thing to make it night. And to do that, I have to go back into Shinshu Field right here. Go. So this priest dude is going to give us a monster list of monsters that he wants to have killed. And they only show up at night. So as a small little tutorial, the game turns at night for you, which for us is very useful because later on in the game we get a brush power to make it night, but we skip getting that one. So instead we have to use this little trick to make it night. So yeah, in the first run of the marathon, Cruel mentioned, like, well, Jasper kind of hinted and Cruel talked about an event, like the first time we reached €1,000 in donations due to a Dark Souls bid war. That actually happened during one of my runs. And back then we had this donation light, so whenever there was a donation, we would turn on that light. So I would be just like running and explaining stuff, and then suddenly the light would go on. And you hear Jasper like laughing manically in the background. I was just like, okay, go ahead. And that would happen about 8 times in my run, and the amounts of euros donated would just keep going up and up and up. And I was just sitting there like, oh my god. Every time that light turned on, it's just like, you know, here we go again. It was a lot of fun. But also, in that moment, it was the worst thing because like my commentary kept being interrupted for ridiculous donations that made everyone in the room laugh out loud, and I couldn't, like, I was just doing a run. I couldn't really keep track of what was going on. It was ridiculous. So right here we're gonna paint the star, and the star makes a galaxy appear. Look at it. Ain't that beautiful? There's one problem with the galaxy though, it's not spinning. You know, how about we summon some wind? That'll make it go spin. Look at that. Yeah, wind makes it spin. There we go. And by making it spin, we make a whirlpool appear, and we're just gonna swim straight into the middle of the whirlpool. Because it's cool. And there's a nice palace here. So you're supposed to like go into the palace right now and just talk to the queen and get a special pass to be able to explore. But instead we're just gonna go out of bounds and go straight into the area that we want to go in, right here. There we go. Grab the key. So using the key we can get past this lock, and we're gonna do something cool here. So there's an orb in the back there, so you can see, and we need to use acid to make it not be stuck there. But it's been programmed as use water spout on it. So by doing this with the camera, we can just water it from over here. It's kind of cool. They fixed that in the newer versions of the game, but for this speedrun, it's still there. It's one of those moments where smart programming helps us a lot in a speedrun. Ah, damn, messed up. So right there, I'm power slashing them to skip their death animations, because they are really, really long, and it's worth the time it takes to power slash them. And then we're gonna go straight into this sequence. So you get all these red droplets falling down. They're completely random as to where they fall. So if you get unlucky right here, you will lose about 20 seconds if you get hit in mid-air, like this. Previous marathon run I got lucky, this time I didn't. Oh well, that's okay. There we go. Sometimes you just get bad luck like that. Wow. Not paying attention. So now we're finally gonna go to the Queen, and we're just gonna go straight on to the next section after that. I didn't say speed. Great. Got this nice epic music going. So yeah. So, because this is a marathon run, I'm gonna have to show off one thing. It's the best, most useless glitch in this run. I still love it. I always show it off in marathon runs. Even runs like these. So I'm gonna grab this horse. I'm gonna switch Karmic Transformer and whee! So yeah, that's called the Telekinetic Grab. It is the most useless glitch in this game, but it's also the best one. And I always show it off as much as I can. Doesn't matter how slow the run is, how bad the run is. That always needs to be shown off. It's the most important thing. It's actually a thing. During one marathon, we had a donation incentive for a glitch exhibition of Ōkami. And literally everyone at the end of my run completely forgot that we hit that donation goal. So at some point in the middle, of another transition, I had to come in and do it anyway. It was so awkward, thinking back on it. It's just right after the next run, I just randomly have to do a glitch exhibition, and it was just, oh my god. It was so weird. It was definitely one of my more awkward moments when it comes to BSG. So right now, we've skipped ahead of a lot of story. This is the first time we are in the big city, but we're actually all the way at the end of the story for the big city, which is kind of funny, which is kind of cool. I should stop saying that things are funny. Not everything is funny. If only. So right here we've got the queen. She's not feeling too great. I'm gonna hit the person who made her not feel very great. There we go. Most satisfying sound effect in the game. Thwack. Yeah, I like that glitch. That glitch was definitely hilarious. So now we get the epic music again. And we're gonna go into our next dungeon. Ooh, make sure I don't hit a cutscene over there. And the next dungeon is actually a lot of new stuff has been found over the last year that I have not shown off during BSG. That's kind of the cool thing about returning to BSG very often. Whenever new stuff gets found in games, you get to show it off again, which is really cool. With the fact that it's so you get to do marathons so often. You get to show off something you've been working on, you know. And I do remember learning one or two games specifically for BSGs, because that was always the best part of. And I know that a lot of people actually did that anyway. You know, with Kiara and Plumber, they learned Quirk specifically for, well, not just because they liked it, but also a lot of people I know learned Quirk specifically to do BSG stuff. Do really crazy races, or that big relay race at Annual 19. And that's cool, a lot, you kind of get to diversify because you want to show off new stuff at BSG. You want to say hey, look at me, I got new stuff to show you all. A new game I've been enjoying. And that's fun. So right there, shrouded in clouds, we have Oni Island, our next dungeon. And I'm gonna try and show off another Origin Warp. So this is the second useful Origin Warp. I'm not sure. Recently I've been kind of unsure about the fact if it saves time or not. But it is definitely one of the more fun parts of, like, the more fun Origin Warps out there. And I will try and see if I can get it. I'm gonna go full ham with it. Usually during runs, well, nowadays I don't really go for it anymore in runs, but for marathon runs I do definitely want to try and show it off. I only have one chance to get it, so hopefully I do. Okay, gonna set this up. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So I got the frame. Now we're gonna go out of bounds. There we go. And there's no real void plane here. So instead of voiding, I'm just going to swim in the water and drown, so I void out that way. Yeah, definitely revenge for yesterday's. Yesterday I tried it as well and I didn't get it. So right here, I land somewhere underneath the floor and it shoots me up for some reason. I need to go into this part. So now I can go over here. Oh, I'm not actually sure if I'm going to the right one. Oh, damn. Okay. I messed up my camera. No! I went to the wrong one. Yeah, I need to go over there. Oops. So yeah, if I went into the right direction instantly, it saves a couple of seconds over doing the other thing. Like you can go all the way around of this island and that way skip most of the dungeon. This does that as well, but yeah, I messed up my camera. I haven't really practiced this trick very often because you don't really have a lot of chances to practice it. So there we go, there's like a statue you can go to. And by rejuvenating it a bit, we get a new brush power. It's definitely my more favorite application of the Origin Warp trick, and it's the second useful one, but it's way less useful than the first one. Oh, that was some weird camera. Never seen that camera before. That was weird. Yep. So now a cool thing about Ōkami dungeons is that most of the dungeon is all on the same map. This one happens to be one of the exceptions, since it has multiple maps. So what we're going to be doing now is by going out of bounds, for instance, or going to weird spots, we're going to travel from map to map, and that way we can go to the end of the dungeon. Because even though we got our brush power, we cannot actually leave this dungeon at all. I mean, we could, but it's not useful. Like, we would be stuck. We would be stuck in the area before here. There we go. Whee! Nice. So here we have to wait a little bit for this gap to appear. You always have to wait there, it doesn't matter how slow you go. Well, it doesn't matter really. You could do that in one try, but yeah, I failed that one sadly. So right here is another new trick in the run. We're gonna go over here onto this platform and mess up. So I'm trying to get to a very specific spot. I think I got it. And then we're gonna vine ourselves to the top. There we go. And the vine will pull us out of bounds. And I'm supposed to do something there. I failed it, so I'm gonna try it again. There we go. It's very important I get the position right. The height doesn't really matter for this glitch, or for this trick rather. It's very important to make sure that the position is correct. Oh boy, camera, what are you doing? I need you. So by... Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a KT, I think. Okay. I'm usually decent at this glitch, but it has a few fail states. So I'm gonna try it again. It's not really a full, like, it's not a tricky trick, so to speak. A tricky trick, haha. But yeah, there's a few little things about it. There we go. This is perfect. So by doing this, we get to the other side of that little gate, and we skip a whole bunch of stuff that we used to do in the speedrun. That's like something that's been found, like, I think about half a year ago now. And ever since coming back to this run for BSG, I have been incorporating it into this run. And it's a really nice time saver, and one of the reasons why I beat the world record. Haha. That constellation had no business working. But yeah, the nice thing about like BSGs for me as well is well, I just completely destroyed this boss fight. Like I said, fights are kind of trivial. Unless you get absolutely hacked. Wow, I got hacked. Wow. That's so silly. It happens. If you're a bit too slow, Ninetales will regenerate again. Like that. There's like one of those split offs that'll just go back. It's kind of annoying. And I get the cutscene. Wow. It's been a while since Ninetales has gone that badly. Oh well, it happens. Ninetales has always been a bit of a, yeah, annoying boss. But yeah, to get back what I was talking about, for me personally, when it came to combining speedrunning and BSG monthlies, it was actually really perfect, because I like to switch games every month. So I would basically just like do one specific run for a month, and I got to show it off at BSG, and then I was done, and I could go to the next run for the next BSG, and that's kind of a cycle I had for almost a year, maybe a bit longer, where I just like, I would show up to BSG with a different run, a different category every time, because that's what I've been working on for the last month. That was always a lot of fun. There we go. So now that we've got all the brush powers that we need to finish the game, we're gonna go to the final area the final main area of the game to finish it. So yeah, we've got about 20 minutes of game left. Oh, and a possible soft lock. That's also a fun thing. Near the end of the game, we maybe can soft lock. I have a safety save for it, but it's not in the best of spots, so to speak. There we go. So yeah, this is Kamui. If you're afraid of spoilers for this game, don't worry about it. I'm gonna skip just about all of the story here. So we're gonna go straight out of bounds here. There's an invisible wall, and we're gonna use that to our advantage to get some momentum. So right there is a really giant rock, and inside of that rock is the tree we need to bloom to restore this area. Now usually what you're supposed to do is to break that rock to be able to get to the tree. Give me a moment. There we go. But instead of doing that, we're just going to go out of bounds. I'm going to go under the rock and try blooming it from there. I'm going to have to do another KT. Or more, depending on how much I drop. I'm going to do one extra for safety. There we go. Ta-da! And you kind of see like the tree being bloomed inside of the rock. It's kind of funny. So right here we have our soft lock moment. There's a fight trigger right to our left. And if I hit that fight trigger, I cannot defeat it. I'm gonna go safe and do 2 KTs up. There we go. And the reason I cannot defeat that fight is because you can't escape it, and I don't have the brush power to defeat it. So yeah, that was really smoothly. I usually don't do it in 4 KTs, I do it in 2, but marathon safety is very important. I'm not sure if I ever soft locked during a BSG run. I might have. So right here we have a quaint little village with no one in it. So we're just gonna skip doing anything in here. There we go. And we're gonna go straight past that gate to our left. The invisible walls there are kind of high, but luckily we can go to the right here. And get stuck inside the gate. Hey, I didn't know you could do that from here. So now I'm stuck inside the gate. That happens sometimes. The way to get out of it is to just kind of bonk yourself out. There we go. That happens from time to time. It's not a soft lock, as you can see, but it's always fun to get stuck inside the gate, in my opinion. So right here is one of the bigger skips in the game. So at the end of the game, that arc that you see in the water will start floating up. And you have this rainbow bridge that you can get to inside of it. But the loading zone to go into that arc is already there. So what we're going to do is do 6 KTs up. And just go into the loading zone. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. There we go. Straight into the loading zone. We used to actually go into the cutscene before the loading zone, but someone recently rediscovered the fact that the loading zone is also there, and we kind of, like, most of the runners kind of forgot that someone else already found that the loading zone was already there as well. Felt like kind of... It happens often in Ōkami that we forget stuff that has already been found before. So this is the most boring part of the run, so to speak. This is the boss rush section, where we're going to be fighting against all the bosses that we needed the rush powers for to defeat. We happen to not have the specific rush power for this enemy though, but he has this specific attack that allows us to skip having to have that rush power. Kind of useful. There we go. So yeah, looking at I've been having my own timer running at the same time. Looking at that timer, I'm gonna go very slightly overestimate. 122 was honestly a little bit of an ambitious estimate, but I do like to set my my estimates a little bit on the ambitious side nowadays, because I don't mind. I don't really mind going overestimate that much, because it's an estimate. As long as I'm close to the estimate, it's fine. Doesn't matter if I'm under or over. But yeah, I'm gonna go very slightly overestimate. So, the Orochi Fight is probably one of my favorites nowadays. So we're gonna let this dude attack, and while he's in a down state, we can trigger all of the other heads at the same time. And the cool thing about it is that it's very loud, and we can attack. We can basically water spout all three at the same time. And we need to do that twice to be able to go to the next phase. There we go. It's actually a really cool strat. Now for the second phase, we're gonna show off New Game Plus overpoweredness. So these heads will attack us, and we just one-shot them. You still need to have the proper timing, and you can really mess that up. You also have these fireballs falling down, which are random, and they can hit you while you attack and cancel your attack, which is really annoying. It's the last random part of this run. And I got, meh. I got all the heads in one hit at least, but yeah. I did get hacked here and there. But that's fine. During casual play, by the way, that's the third time you fight Orochi. Some people really hate it because it kind of gets old that you have to keep fighting this boss. But yeah, it's there. Then we have a spider boss. Woo! So these are all the bosses that I skipped during the run. This one specifically of a dungeon that I did go into for Vine. And this is the main reason why we get Vine. One of the biggest time savers that might be possible, so to speak, would be to skip this entire boss rush, because it would, like, it would shorten the run by like a lot, like half an hour or something like that. There we go. And that's Spider Queen. It's a neat little strat there. Other runners use slightly different strategies there, but yeah, that's what I do. During like very, very hype runs, this is like the most annoying section. It's just like, well, everything just reaches to a halt. All the suspense is gone. You just know what time you're gonna get, and you just have to make sure you don't make any mistakes, rather than having to play well, you know? For instance, this boss fight is already done. Sometimes during marathons I completely talk over this boss, talking about something else, because it's just like, well, it's a non-factor. Stay hydrated. So for the final boss in this section, we are going to be fighting Ninetales again. So this is the one boss in the entire run we get to fight. A boss again that we fought earlier. An elite mob at this point, yeah. New Game Plus is ridiculously overpowered when it comes to Ōkami. In New Game, yeah, that boss also is kind of a non sequitur, so to speak. But yeah. There we go. This time I didn't get hacked. Nice. So in the previous Ninetales fight I could just like mash a button. Here I can't. I got a little lucky there. That's nice. So now that we've done the boss rush, we can go into the final boss fight. Which is sadly kind of the most boring fight. Even more boring than Crimson Helm, because at least Crimson Helm doesn't take very long. It's like a few seconds and you're done. This fight is gonna take like a solid 4 or 5 minutes, so yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna be very slightly overestimate. By about 20 seconds. Well, okay, the timer on stream is different though, so I think I'll be overestimated by 25 seconds. So 1:22:25. That's my guess. Let's see if we can make that happen. So this is the final boss of the game. His name is Yami. And basically, the idea is that you've lost all your brush powers, and by dealing damage to him, you get your brush powers back. But because we're so overpowered, we get our brush powers back very, very quickly. and in doing so, we this kind of becomes an auto-scroller boss. So yeah. So yeah, this is the final boss of the game. This is Yami. Second phase. In this phase, we instantly deal all of its health away in damage, and we're just gonna go straight into getting our rush powers back, and we just have to go through the script of the boss fight. So yeah, another big BSG reference there. This is the final boss of the game. I'm gonna keep doing it. So, yeah. This is Yami. This is the final boss of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is phase 3. I first load up 4 slips to deplete its health, and I like to call that rigging the slots, which basically means I get a brush power back every time I stop the slots. And it's gonna keep doing that for 3 times until I get all of the brush powers back, and then I'm gonna use another slip to kill them. Good morning, Cinder. So, yeah. This is the final boss of the game. 3, 4, 5, 6. This is Yami, phase 4. In this phase, I first front load 6 slips, and I'm gonna keep using a slip during every time I get my brush powers back. Patsy, get ready on time for in a bit. It's not on this phase, but get ready for it. So, yeah. This is the final boss of the game. This is Yami phase 5. And come on, that was the final boss. Time isn't up yet. It's when the result screen happens, so get ready for it. And time.
G?
Thank you. Also, the final boss of the game is a reference to Kirby and the Amazing Mirror that I ran with Sniper in co-op, and we made the joke of like, this is the final boss of the game a bunch, because we kept having to do 6 different phases of Dark Mind. So yeah. As per usual, you're over time. Yeah, I know. It's an estimate. That's what it is. So yeah, first of all, thank you very much to the BSG organizers for inviting me to do this. That's really nice of you guys. I honestly feel honored and respected a little bit. Part of me hadn't really expected that I would get invited to an event like this, because I have been kind of absent in the community for a while now. Mostly because I'm just doing my own thing lately. But yeah, shoutouts to BSG for existing for 5 years and giving a bunch of really cool nerds some really fun hobbies, and just setting up really fun events that I really, really, really enjoy being a part of. And here's to the next 5 years. How about that?
Well, thank you very much indeed, Kinnin. That was an absolutely fantastic run. Can we share some appreciation, please, for that fantastic run? I really, really, really enjoyed it. Thank you again. Again, it was an honour to be here with you for this run. Anything else you'd like to say before we head off?
No, I did all my shoutouts, really.
Okie dokie. Right, well, stay with us, folks. We have more coming up for you. We've got some interesting things coming up, so if you'd like to stay with us, not going to give the game away. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back very shortly. So we're just going to go to a quick intermission, but stay tuned. Thank you very much.